had more money, I would buy a new phone. Now, this is true. I have a really old phone and I am too lazy to buy a new one. If I had more money, I would buy a new phone. Now, if I had more money, this is not real. I don't have the money to buy a phone. But it is the idea that if I had more money, what would happen? Well, if I had more money, I would buy a new phone. It's what would happen if it was real. Okay? So that's the meaning, that's the idea. Again, we're using the past tense in English to talk about now. Again, would is really similar to could and should. Is I would go, not I would to go or I would going. So here we say you would study French. The negative, you wouldn't, you would not, or you wouldn't. And then would you, like changing the word order in the questions. Now here, the L in would is completely silent. The pronunciation is would. Would does not exist. It's would. All right. Say with me. Would. Would. I wouldn't do it. Now, the native pronunciation, we want to learn to make T silent and the strong N and connecting, right? I wouldn't do it. Two words, wouldn't and do, but connect wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. All right. So let's train some examples with would, as in I would not do that, etc. Always train the pronunciation of wouldn't to wouldn't. Okay? Let's go. I would not do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that if I were you. They would not understand our problems. They wouldn't understand our problems. They wouldn't understand our problems. They wouldn't understand our problems. I would not ask if I already knew. I wouldn't ask if I already knew. I wouldn't ask if I already knew. I wouldn't ask if I already knew. I would not work so much if I did not really need to. I wouldn't work so much if I didn't really need to. I wouldn't work so much if I didn't need to. I wouldn't work so much if I didn't need to. She would not be so stressed if she was not preparing for the exams. She wouldn't be so stressed if she wasn't preparing for the exams. She wouldn't be so stressed if she wasn't preparing for the exams. She wouldn't be so stressed if she wasn't preparing for the exams. Okay, my friends, that ends this video. In the next video, I want to show you about the future with will not to won't. Okay? See you there, my friends. Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the word will in the future, about how we use it, and in the negative with will not to won't. Okay? So, the word will in English, essentially we have three reasons why we use it. One is for offers, two is for predictions, and three is for facts about the future. So let me explain that a little better. When we want to talk about offers, and I mean spontaneous offers in the moment, you see a person with a problem and you offer to help. I will help you fix your computer. I will buy you a new computer, right? But it's the offers in the moment, the spontaneous. Number two is predictions. Predictions of what you think or what you believe before the event. For example, I think it will rain tomorrow. Now, I am Irish. I live in Ireland and it's a very rainy country, so it's a good prediction. I think it will rain tomorrow. Or I think Brazil will win the World Cup, right? But it's a prediction before the event. All right. Final idea is facts about the future, as about, are you completely sure? Are you 100% sure? For example, when a person in an office tells you your documents will be ready tomorrow, is because 100% sure, yes, they will be ready. Or if a friend asks you to meet, you say, no, I will not have time to meet you tomorrow. In the moment of speaking, you are 100% sure, okay? Will, just like would, could, and should, is a modal verb, so we will say will go. Never will to go or going. Just I will go. Here we can see they will do it. The negative is they will not do it. To contract it to won't. And then question is changing the word order of will they do it, right? Here, what we are interested in is the native speaker pronunciation of they won't do it. As in the T won't will disappear. Say, they won't do it. It's not the pronunciation of one, like the verb, like one, or yeah, there, but it's won't. Won't. Okay? The W forms a circle. Won't. Now, let's be very clear. Will not, to contraction, is won't. Won't. Okay? And there are two words in English that are very similar in pronunciation. One is won't, the other is want. Okay? Won't is a contraction of will not, and want is I want or you want. Now, the difference in the pronunciation is, with the pronunciation of won't, the mouth does not open very much. Here, I won't do it. I won't do it. Not much, right? But here, I want to go. I want to go. It's coming right down. So, won't, want. Won't, want. Got it? Now, we want to train the pronunciation of I won't go to I won't go. I won't go. So strong N and connecting to the next word, right? Won't go. All right? Ready? Let's train. I will not have time to do it today. I won't have time to do it today. I won't have time to do it today. I won't have time to do it today. It will not be possible for them to come next week. It won't be possible for them to come next week. It won't be possible for them to come next week. It won't be possible for them to come next week. It will not be ready before next week. It won't be ready before next week. It won't be ready before next week. It won't be ready before next week. He will not remember. I just know it. He won't remember. I just know it. He won't remember. I just know it. He won't remember. I just know it. If you do not do it now, you will not remember to do it later. If you don't do it now, you won't remember to do it later. If you don't do it now, you won't remember to do it later. If you don't do it now, you won't remember to do it later. We just know she will not be able to do everything by herself. We just know she won't be able to do everything by herself. We just know she won't be able to do everything by herself. We just know she won't be able to do everything by herself. Alright, my friends, that ends this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. We will talk about was not to wasn't to wasn't. See you there, my friends. Hey guys, in this quick video about wasn't to wasn't, I want to show you the native pronunciation of the verb to be in the negative. Alright, let's go. So very quickly, this is the verb to be in the present. I am, he, she, it is, you, we, they are. If you remember correctly, the past tense of the verb to be is two words. I was, he was, she was, it was, you were, we were, they were. Okay? Now, the important thing here in the pronunciation is that the S, it sounds like a Z. It's was, like that there, okay? And of course, after was, we can have a simple adjective, as in I wasn't interested, I wasn't busy, etc. Or it can be a continuous verb. I wasn't doing it, he wasn't talking. Now, the was not will become wasn't, and the T silent will be wasn't. Wasn't. So it's not wasn't. The S is Z. It's wasn't. Wasn't. So let's train some simple examples to show you different ideas of was not to wasn't. Okay? It was not really important. It wasn't really important. It wasn't really important. She was not interested in doing it. She wasn't interested in doing it. She wasn't interested in doing it. She wasn't interested in doing it. He was not there when I arrived. He wasn't there when I arrived. He wasn't there when I arrived. He wasn't there when I arrived. That was not my fault. That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. It was not an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy decision. She was not very busy. I do not know why she did not do it. She wasn't very busy. I don't know why she didn't do it. She wasn't very busy. I don't know why she didn't do it. She wasn't very busy. I don't know why she didn't do it. Alright my friends, that ends this video about was. In the next video, I want to show you just the pronunciation secrets of where not to weren't to weren't. Okay my friends, see you there. Hey my friends, in this video we continue looking at the past tense of the verb to be. The last video we had was, and this video we have were. Very simple. So again, this is our quick look at the verb to be in the present. This is the verb to be in the past, as you, we, they, were. Okay, just in case you don't remember. Now again, the pronunciation here is a where, or has a long sound. Where. It really comes from here. Where. Not where, but where. Train with me now. Where. Okay? The W is forming a circle. Where. Got it? Of course we have were not to weren't, which with the T silent we weren't. Alright? So again, silent T, strong N, weren't. You, we, they weren't busy. You weren't busy. They weren't busy, right? It's learning to make the T silent. So let's train some simple examples with were not to weren't. Always training to get the correct pronunciation of weren't. Ready? Let's go. They were not at home last night. They weren't at home last night. They weren't at home. They weren't at home last night. They weren't at home last night. We were not very busy last night. We weren't very busy last night. We weren't very busy last night. We weren't very busy last night. They were not as tired as they thought they were going to be. They weren't as tired as they thought they were gonna be. They weren't as tired as they thought they were gonna be. They weren't as tired as they thought they were gonna be. I do not know why they were not there last night. I don't know why they weren't there last night. I don't know why they weren't there last night. I don't know why they weren't there last night. I don't know why they weren't there last night. We were not very far when you called. We weren't very far when you called. We weren't very far when you called. We weren't very far when you called. I thought you were not interested in going. I thought you weren't interested in going. I thought you weren't interested in going. I thought you weren't interested in going. Alright, my friends, that ends this video. Next video, the final video of Module 4, is about the past perfect, about had not to hadn't. See you there, my friends. Hey guys, in this final video of Module 4, I want to talk about had not to hadn't with the past perfect, okay? Now, I need to be clear about how we are using the verb have in English. Look at the two examples here. Look at them. We have, I have time today. I have done it. What kind of word is time and what kind of word is done? Think about it. Now, time is a noun or a thing. And done is a verb or a past participle, right? And here, for example, if we have in the noun, I have time. You look at the negative. Look how it's I don't have time. And the question is, do I have time? Now look at have with the verb. If we have in the verb, you have done it, but the negative is different now. If you look, it's like you have not done it or have you done it? The negative and the question are very different. And that's the important part about the past tense here. When you have had and a noun, the past tense of to have, I had time. Negatives, I didn't have time. Or did I have time? Now look at the negative. When you have the past perfect, you had done it. Negative is different. You had not done it. And the question is, had you done it? Okay? That's the first point before we continue. The second point is why and when do we use the past perfect? Simple idea is you have two events in the past and you want to be clear about what happened first, right? In this case, I was tired because I had worked a lot. I was tired because I had worked a lot. We think about which event happened first. In chronological order, I had worked a lot happened before I was tired. So this is when we have two events in the past and we want to be clear which happened first. Here's another example. She had not called because she was very busy, right? So when you think about she had not called, that this was a time when she said she was going to call or she told somebody, but whatever happened, this time was before and then later she was busy. So it's two events in the past. It's the idea of which happened first. Okay? Now with the pronunciation, it's had not to hadn't. And I guess you know the idea that hadn't will be hadn't. right? Silent T, strong N. Hadn't. Got the idea? So let's see some simple examples with the past perfect, training and pronunciation of hadn't to hadn't. Ready? Let's go. I had not thought of that. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that. My phone was not working because I had not charged the battery. My phone wasn't working because I hadn't charged the battery. My phone wasn't working because I hadn't charged the battery. She did not pass the test because she had not studied. She didn't pass the test because she hadn't studied. She didn't pass the test because she hadn't studied. He was really late for work because he had not set his alarm. He was really late for work because he hadn't set his alarm. He was really late for work because he hadn't set his alarm. He was really late for work because he hadn't set his alarm. I saw that my brother had not remembered to buy me credit for my phone. I saw that my brother hadn't remembered to buy me credit for my phone. I saw that my brother hadn't remembered to buy me credit for my phone. I saw that my brother hadn't remembered to buy me credit for my phone. Okay guys, that ends Module 4. I hope you enjoyed it and it was not too long. Join me in Module 5, the next module, when I talk about have to have to. See you there, my friends. Hey guys, welcome to Module 5. In this module, I want to talk about the verb to have, but to have to, as in the obligations and things we need to do. Because the word have has very different pronunciations depending if we are using it talking about a possession, like I have money, I have time, and then the pronunciation of I have to do it is very different. Now the spelling is the same, H-A-V-E, but now I want to show you how the pronunciation can change a lot in native speaker pronunciation. Okay, let's go. So this is our first difference, that we have to have something and to have to do something, right? The basics. For here, to have a new phone is about possession, that you have something, you have a thing. But to have to buy a new phone is the same thing as I need to buy a new phone. Now, we need to be clear about the form. When we are talking about obligations, as in you have to do it, the form is you have to do it, not you have to doing it, all right? Now, let's look at the pronunciation. On one side here is I have and a noun or a thing, and the pronunciation is really have, right? So the E, H-A-V-E, the E is silent and it's a strong V, have. In pronunciation, we say V for vibration because these teeth here are touching here. Have, right? I have time, okay? Now, it's exactly the same spelling, but when we talk about obligations, I have to, really the pronunciation is I have, like an F, I have. But the moment that we speak quickly and we combine have and to, we say hafta, okay? So if we compare I have time and I have to do it, I have to do it. Some students don't understand this and they say I have to buy, I have to go, using the V, but really it's an F. have to. So try it with me now. Have to. One more time. Have to, right? I have to and the verb. For example, I, you, we, they have to do it. I, you, we, they have to. I have to do it. You have to do it. We have to do it. They have to do it. And in the negative, it's simply don't, right? I don't have to, right? And of course, the T in don't is disappearing. So if we have a negative sentence, slow is I don't have to, but really it's I don't have to. I don't have to, okay? So let's practice some simple examples using have to have to, and let's keep training that nice pronunciation of have to. All right, let's go. I have to go to the bank to pay the rent. I have to go to the bank to pay the rent. I have to go to the bank to pay the rent. I have to go to the bank to pay the rent. We do not have to get up early tomorrow. We don't have to get up early tomorrow. We don't have to. We don't have to get up early tomorrow. You do not have to do it if you do not want to. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You don't have to do it if you don't wanna. You don't have to do it if you don't wanna. They should not have to do this every time. They shouldn't have to do this every time. They shouldn't have to do this every time. They shouldn't have to do this. You have to be more patient with things. You have to be more patient with things. Okay guys, that ends this first video of Module 5. I'll see you in the next one when we're going to talk about using he and she has to has to. See you there, my friends. Hey guys, in this video we continue talking about using have to have to for obligations, but now I want to show you what happens when we use this with he and she. Alright? If we remember from the last video, we had the basic difference with the verb to have, that he or she has something, possession, and she or she has to do something, right? Same basic difference. Here, he or she has a job, he or she has to get a job, right? So again, just be careful with the form. He or she has to do it, not doing it, all right? And here's interesting with the pronunciation. When we use he or she with the verb to have, as in a possession or a noun, the S sounds like a Z. So it's really he has time. If you imagine he has time, okay? When we talk about he or she has to do something, the has to will combine to has to. She has to do it. She has to do it. She has to do it. Okay? That's the two sounds. One is for possession, he has, and the other's he or she has to. Okay? Has to. He or she has to. So here we see again, he or she has to do it, and that combines the contractions has to. Right? He or she has to do it. Now, when we put this in the negative, you need to remember that he or she doesn't have. It's he or she has in the positive, but he or she doesn't have in the negative. So with this, we will contract to he or she doesn't have to do it, and can make the T silent, he or she doesn't have to. Okay? So in the affirmative positive, we he or she has to. Negative, he or she doesn't have to. Okay? Those are the two sounds now that we want to train in our practice session. Ready?